going to be Philippines? We shall find out. But what I do know as the drafts coming in from Team Philippines is going to be prioritizing on their usual Ube strategy concept, which is without the Estes this time, which is having the Rafaela instead. Team Singapore, however, going to be bringing the Eve on the contrast against Team Philippines. And I'm looking forward to see how they do this.
Yep, this is going to be do or die for both these teams. We now enter the land of Dawn for the final time here in our first semi-final match of day 2. Whichever team ends up on top in this game will be your first grand finalist in the 31st SEA Games.
Oh boy, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the decider match for either of these teams. I want to see how they play it, but this time Sayla going to be playing on the Eve in contrast of Imam playing the Cecilia. So it is going to be their usual comfort picks, and I like how Adamir is going to be opting to their marksman. So these are their perfect starting lineup coming from Singapore, getting their roles all identified. But looks like we are going to be seeing an early contest on towards the Little Wanderer, and Will Luna actually almost getting caught off. Forces a flicker, means Singapore is going to win out on the trade for the Little Wanderer.
I do like that Team Singapore are rotating more heavily in this early game. They know that this is the point of the game where they have to build as much advantage as possible, because once the late game comes around, Team Philippines will be able to just steamroll their composition.
Yep, Soto now on the Paquito, going to be going for the matchup against Zerov once again. Team Singapore, they are going to be strong arming that composition. However, split push potential, I don't think that Team Philippines is going to go for the Benedetta again. But seeing that the Karina is a big threat from the side of Team Philippines, they need to figure a way to deal with it. And I know that Karina is just so hard to deal with, but in terms of tankiness as well as causing chaos in the backlines, it's just one of the S-tier list heroes. And you can see immediate aggression coming in. Villa Luna getting poked away. However, he's going to get caught out. The Zoi's Poisson is going to come in. However, he's going to be able to escape it safely from the side of Team Singapore.
What we just saw from Team Philippines is exactly how they intend to deal with this Karina. They know that Remanescence is going to be aiming for Villa Luna most of the time, so always have Del Rosario nearby to protect the Rafaela. He's taking a lot of damage here for JPL, but that is fine. They are on top of the turtle, taking a lot of damage, but Del Rosario just tanks it all. He is going to end up being the first blood, but they trade up for Remanescence as well.
Oh my goodness, here comes the real world Mandarin coming in, and Team Philippines is gonna back out just like that. They get the trade on the turtle coming from Del Rosario. However, the pickoffs coming in from on towards Reminiscence was pretty much wasn't expecting or calculated coming from Singapore, because Imam was able to catch him off guard. So that was a big catch while the junglers was focused onto the turtle objective.
Yeah, really well played by both teams there. But Del Rosario, I'm impressed at his discipline. He knows that he is probably going to die there, so he just stands in the turtle pit. He knows he has to secure it for his team, because that's the only way that he will make trading his life worth it. Now, they are upping the speed as well. They want to steal as many jungle camps away from Team Singapore, because they know Reminiscent is on the opposite side of the map.
Agreed and agreed. But as of yet, let's take a look at what's happening. Nothing much is happening. Both teams just playing in 50-50s, but Team Philippines, they do have a slight lead in terms of economy because of that turtle trade early on. Villa Luna gonna get focused out, and the Holy Baptism also gonna be set up in place. Unfortunately, it's gonna be used for nothing, as Team Singapore not overcommitting to that fight. They are going to be playing safe. Imam has forced the sprint, and that is huge, because now Soul, he's going to get caught out with the fight, as now they get run over by Del Rosario, as he is going to be looking for more. Look at this, it's just so healthy. Wall charge comes in from JPL, not connecting with Luna, and he's going to die just like that. Del Rosario gets an easy double kill just by strong arming his levels as well as sustains.
Definitely a mistake by Team Singapore there. I don't think they knew what they were trying to achieve. Soul nearly getting the kill onto Imam, but gets his Abysm Strike stopped by Del Rosario, who just has massive damage. Sayla definitely stayed in the real world manipulation a little bit too long to see if they could just chunk out the members of Team Philippines, and ended up costing them when JPL jumped in to sacrifice himself.
Agreed. Another time with Soto as well. Philippines will be having a little bit upper hand, but Team Soto is going to go for the punch as well. Remnants actually get caught out. That's going to be the retribution team coming from Philippines as they secure the Soto. JPL, however, going to get caught out. Big wall charge comes in, but they just don't have the follow-up. Team Philippines, they have to sustain. They need to make a run for it. Soul is here, but here comes Gonzalez as well, as they slowly poke apart start. And the defense of Singapore, double kill for Seoul. He's gonna get the triple. That is huge for Team Singapore. But Gonzalez, he wants to pick up the pieces. Real motivation from Sayla is gonna have him out. But can Seoul go for the Maniac? He misses the skill right at the last thing, and Gonzalez sidesteps his way through down towards the last health. But Seoul will finally finish him off, and that is gonna be quad kills coming from him. And not getting the Maniac, but still getting 4 kills in the back in his hands.
A massive play by Team Singapore, and that is going to heavily amplify Seoul's farm here, getting 4 kills in a single fight. Unfortunately, not quite close enough to guarantee the Maniac, but Adamir almost getting taken out from the side by Villa Luna as well. Being able to escape that is going to be huge. And while Philippines are still ahead in net worth, Singapore are definitely closing the gap.
Yeah, that was a too close to be called comfort because Team Philippines, they had that in the bag, but fortunately for them, they were able to salvage the situation. However, the question remains. Right now, Adamir, he's slowly skating a little bit more. He's going to be able to do a lot of poke damage, but eventually, these are just all bursts, a mini burst of a damage coming from Clint. They need some sort of hard, true strike damage to actually pierce through the armors of Baxia, and it's going to be very, very difficult to do so. And Adamir now looking to farm on tier 1. Looks like Team Singapore, they want to force the issue. Immediately, Team Philippines, they are going to back up. You can see the stuns coming in. There, Rosario overextending a little bit too much, but preemptively pops the Tortoise Bason and will be forced to back off.
This is the strength of the Baxia, though. Del Rosario being able to just roll in under 4 members of Team Singapore, and they really can't do anything to punish him. But here comes the conceal play. JPL goes in, forces the flicker out from Villa Luna, and the Guardian's barrier is on the wrong side of the fight, allowing them to escape, while Soto up to his usual split-pushing strategy.
Yep, great patience coming from Singapore to bait out major spells. However, like I said as well, Soto is going for a split push pressure, and we've seen this before. Team Philippines, they're just baiting out, but Team Singapore, however, they are going to have the numbers advantage. The snipe comes in from Gonzalez, not going to be successful, but the turtle will be secured from Singapore. They needed 5 men for this, but they can't seem to pick a fight, as Team Philippines are still getting objectives across the map. Adamir from side Singapore is forced to split off, but looks like Team Singapore, they're not going to continue the assault, as they will try and save up some farm for Adamir first.
That was a free turtle, though, thanks to JPL. A massive 3-man wild charge onto the backline bought them enough time, and now he's continuing to open up the map. Team Singapore now are heavily focusing on Adamir's lane. They know that he is their win condition. They need to get him as fed as possible.
Oh no, Soto.
But this might be a little bit too much attention, because Soto, he's just gonna get another tower for free. Soul, I hope he's not too late.
Oh, we've seen this happen before, and it's just so difficult there to actually match it up. And I like how Philippines is fighting this, but looks like the purple is going to be contested as well. Real motivation to help Team Singapore out of this sticky situation. It's going to be A-OK. Real Rosario is going to be kited off, but the damage coming from Team Philippines is a little bit too much, and Team Singapore has to go in for the reset. Adamir getting a little bit greedy with his farm, but fortunately for him, the Team Philippines is not going to go for the commitment, as Imam doesn't have the mana to actually contest it as well. Soto, however, down to his half HP. You can see Singapore are trying to make an attempt. Adamir laying low, but seems like the recall coming from Soto is going to come in. Oh, he finally misses the timing. Soto was looking for the defense. However, they will settle with the tier 1 up top instead. Meanwhile, Philippines is going to trade bottom if they can.
They know that Adamir is up top now, so they're going to deal with this. Here, Remanescent, the only one in position. Soul misses the flicker Abysm strike. Going to get taken out. JPL almost dropped as well. Adamir coming in from the side. This is dangerous. He wants to get Imam, but Del Rosario is right there. Won't try to dive too deep for it. They get the bottom tier 1, and now they're going on to Remanescent instead. Del Rosario coming in from the mid lane. Gets the holy baptism. Sets up the snipe for the Gonzalez.
Oh, that was big. A big snipe, double snipe coming from Gonzalez just completely takes him out of the equation. Because of that, now no retribution up for grab. People is in prime position to go in for the Lord's fight. Team Singapore, how will they do this? Looks like they are a little bit afraid. Soto will be the first one to zone off Team Singapore as he's got the double KO punch. JPL comes in, but here he goes. Soto making a little bit of hard havoc. The Lord is going to be dropping towards 20%. Real division has been dropped to fight the fight, but Philippines, they're still holding on, and there's no commitment yet, but the retribution will be enough to get the Lord from the side of Team Philippines, and just like that, they will back off.
Yeah, really good discipline again from Team Philippines. They're able to get the Lord for free. They don't over-invest because they've already used many of their cooldowns just to keep Team Singapore off of the objective. They're still ahead in terms of net worth. All things considered, Singapore not that far behind. If they're able to get a good fight again, they are still very much even with their opponent.
Yep. And as of yet, Team Philippines, they are going to continue to do so. Going for the pressure at the box here. Del Rosario opening up the map. Reminiscence is gonna try and open up a couple of fights potentially with that Karina. But as of yet, has to be able to find a pickup. But oh, Adamir from the get-go, getting a snipe from Gonzalez. He needs to be a little bit careful now. Villa Luna gonna use himself as a bait, but Team Singapore is not taking it yet. Del Rosario looking for the flag. He does see Adamir. He's deciding if he wants to go for it, but he is gonna deny the Cyclone Eye to try and sync up for the Lord. But Adamir is right here as Team Philippines looking to decide for this as well. The snipe misses from Gonzalez, but he needs to be careful coming from Adamir, because if he dies right here, right now, it might be over for Team Singapore.
Yep, Adamir will be able to survive this and take out the Lord, but Team Singapore in a bad spot. Wild Charge being forced by JPL to escape from Del Rosario. We are now hitting a pretty difficult spot as Soto is even able to push down the bottom tier 2. Singapore left only one external tower and are falling further and further behind in terms of farm.
Beautiful defense for now coming from Singapore. As long as they do not die and give unnecessary kills, they will eventually scale back. However, as of yet, Team Philippines still trying to chip away at the defense of Team Singapore, as JPL only has a Blade of Despair on his drop. He needs to be a little bit more tankier when he gets his next gearbolt item. So this is going to be a very, very difficult situation, but it all comes down to catch potential. Villa Luna does have a scout about this. Gonzalez looking for the snipe, doesn't get it. Adamir will block the shot, but he's a little bit too low as a marksman. Do they want to risk this? Because Team Philippines, they want to go for it as well. Here, Rosario thinking about it, however, will back off.
That's just a really good intimidation factor from Del Rosario going in for the backline. Team Singapore, they definitely had a sinking feeling in their gut that they were going to get cut off. But Del Rosario making the wild... Oh, hold on though. They catch out Villa Luna with the wild charge. Remassen jumps in, gets the kill. Finally, a trade for Singapore.
Oh, this is finally a good takeoff from Singapore as well, because they needed this breeding room to come back online. But like I said, it's only a roaming, but still, is it going to be enough? Because as of yet, they still need a couple more items. In this case, Adamir needs to hit his level 15 or maybe even get his Endless Battle on top of it, the potential Thunderbelt to actually further enhance the True Strike. But all in all, considered, it's just so much things they have to consider before taking the next fight. But while they're doing it as well, the Lord is going to be spawned off. Team Singapore is going to try and potentially bait this out, I guess.
Team Singapore has better control over this part of the map as of right now, but Team Philippines are definitely in a position where they can challenge this without too much issue. And the entire time, you can see Soto is still continuing his split push. Remassen now doing some good damage to the Lord. Hunter Strike already bought by Gonzalez. Lord dropping real low. Will they be able to steal it away? JPL gets the wild charge, secures it for Remassen. Real manipulation already dropped down. Soto coming in from the side. Adamir gonna be able to pick up the Baxia. They find one. They got the Lord. They are happy with that. Philippines and Singapore will both disengage.
Oh, that was huge coming from Team Singapore as well, with JPL intentionally blocking Del Rosario's Hue Unity, forcing in a very, very awkward position, denying Team Philippines the backup, and because of that, they were safely able to get the Lord and get a freebie on top of it all. So this is the redemption that Team Singapore has been eyeing for a long, long time. However, Team Philippines, what is going to be the game plan? Because as we have, Imam is very close to his level 15. Likewise, coming from Gonzalez, they need to hit those big, big damage. And I feel like Adamir is one of the biggest threats coming from Team Singapore.
He definitely is, but I don't think this is going to be much of a threat for Team Philippines right now. This is only the first Lord of the game. Even a single person will be enough to take it out, and it does seem like they're sending Imam to deal with it, while Soto will stop Soul from being able to get the split push. But Singapore will be able to get this top tier 2 in exchange.
Oh, this is going to be rough. Seems like Team Singapore, they are going to be chipping over the outer turrets instead. They will get a tier 1 down mid, and they are looking to open up the map a little more. Team Philippines is the defensive this year. The barrier comes in, isolates the fight. But Team Singapore, do they want to force the issue? Sanguine Clock connects on JPL, but it's not going to be good enough. But Soto, he's going to get caught up. He's down a little bit low, but the damage is going to be too much. So needs to make a run for it. Real Manipulation isolates the fight, but the wall turret is going to be able to shut down Del Rosario. Villa Luna also going to be caught off. That just means Singapore is going to come out. And Adamir gets the triple. He gets the quad. Can he get the 4? But no, the shutdown comes in. It's not going to be enough. Imam is going to be able to resurrect again from Immortality. Almost gets the quad. Unfortunate for Team Singapore, but still a beautiful defense coming from Philippines.
That is going to be massive for Team Singapore. They end up trading 3-4-3. Soto, unfortunately, not quite able to clear things up. He actually has enough damage to finish off JPL and Remanescent there, but Adamir, you can see that he's already doing a lot of damage, and being able to catch out Del Rosario that early on in the fight makes it so that Team Philippines does not have a front line, allowing Team Singapore to go in for the back, allowing Adamir to play as aggressively as he would if he was on the Beatrix. Team Philippines, they cannot afford to allow this Baxia to get caught out so early.
Yeah, this is huge coming from Team Singapore. If you think about it, right? They were losing so much in terms of economy, but because of that play, and even though they were trading 50-50s, right? Overall, they are going to be winning in the better trades just because of the economy swing and comeback coming in from Team Philippines. So we are going to be seeing how this is going to be happening, but it seems like they are going to be having a pause as of yet to try to figure out the final moments, and it's understandable, right? Considering that now, in this final stage game, they need to figure out what they need to do because it all comes down to one small mistake. And either one of these teams are going to be not eliminated, pushed down and losing their chance of getting themselves a gold or silver medal.
Yeah, this is the penultimate moment for this series, this semi-finals. In the next few minutes, we will be determining our very first grand finalist. And both teams right now are in a really even state. Either side has the potential to take it home, to go up and be guaranteed at least second place.
You can see the supports are coming in from Team Philippines to actually support the team, and it could be going either ways. And as of yet, they're trying to discuss a little bit, I guess, on how to deal with Adamir. You can see Adamir's perspective. He knows how strong he is from the side Team Singapore. You saw how the moment he came back into his action, he was able to just dish out so very much damage against them. And because of that, it is going to be very, very difficult to actually overcome. But it all comes down to whether or not can they push towards the last moments. In these final moments, I guess they are going to be discussing what is going to kick over. Focus on Adamir or focus on the Karina. Which is it going to be? Meanwhile, on Team Singapore's discussion should be focusing on trying to punish Del Rosario's over-aggression on the Baxia and chip him off while picking off the sides. But little did they know, Imam is actually starting to hit really hard on that Sicilian.
Yeah, they have to watch out for Imam. They have to watch out for Gonzalez. Even Soto is starting to dish out quite a bit of damage. So although Team Singapore have been able to get really beneficial trades so far, they still have to be quite wary in their initiation. As you highlighted earlier, a single mistake at this stage of the game could cost them their chances at the gold medal. And it does look like we will be returning now to the land of Dawn.
Well, it seems like the next lot is going to be up as well. 15 minutes in the game. They are equalizing in terms of economy. Singapore is back in action. However, Reminiscence opening out the map. Villa Luna does scout him up. What is it going to be? How's it going to be? It seems like it's going to be a tough call. Ooh, the Lord is going to be baited out from Singapore once again. However, on the minimap itself, you do see Soto going for the split push potential. So it's not really a good call by JPL with the concealed play.
He gets the wall charge. He hits Del Rosario. Real manipulation already dropped down. JPL dropping real low. Gonzalez doing a lot of damage. And now Singapore are on the back foot. Del Rosario just chasing them down. And they're dropping real low in terms of HP. Philippines wants to follow up. Soto coming in from the back line. Holy Baptism finding Reminiscence. Knockout strike on top of Soul. But he is still able to walk away.
Oh my goodness, close call coming from Team Singapore, but Philippines, they were able to overcome the surprise element of JPL, immediately bursting him down. Gonzalez doing a fantastic job at that. Just like that, Team Philippines, they bounce back, they get the Lord, and it feels really good now to be in the driving seat right now of this momentum swing.
That was a really good initiation by JPL, finding multiple members of Team Philippines in the bush, but I think in that split moment, he couldn't decide who to go for, ending up using the wild charge on Del Rosario. And even though catching out the Baxia has worked out for Team Singapore in the previous fights, he is still very tanky. They have to be in a perfect position to actually pick him off first.
Yep, seems like they are playing it safe from side Team Philippines. They are going to be freezing the lane to wait up on the Lord before going for the push. Team Singapore is going to be losing out about a little bit shy of 3k economy, but as of yet, even though it's a very minuscule task in terms of economy, but they need it just because they need to hit those level 15s. And as of yet, Sayla is only level 14 alongside with JPL, whereas Team Philippines, they're all going to be maxed items very soon. However, looks like the Minotaur is going to be in as well. Del Rosario looking for the base. Thankfully, doesn't catch anyone from side Team Singapore. And looks like they're still waiting for those opportunities. Gonzalez looking for the side, sitting in the bush. And Team Singapore is going to be forced to defend against the assault on the Lord on the top side. But looks like we are going to be calling in for a pause as we get on thinking of what they need to do coming from Team Singapore.
This is going to be pretty dire for Team Singapore right now. There is a Luminous Lord pushing up the top lane. They have successfully defended the other inhibitors, but you can bet that Team Philippines is going to be making use of this Luminous Lord to try and get at least 1 or 2 structures. Maybe if Team Singapore makes a mistake, they could even use this to end it right
all goes
now.
down, because
This
right
is
now
really
they're going to be
tough.
jumping straight into the game to find out how it's going to go down in this final Lord push, potentially from the side Team Philippines, because it is happening right here, right now. You guys are watching the SEA Games, and this is going to be the final game for the first semi-finals. And who's going to be the Lord is going to be coming in, and it seems like Team Philippines, they are going to respect and concede this Lord away. All right.
Team Philippines are known for playing more safe and disciplined late games. They already got 1 inhibitor with that Luminous Lord, and they know that pushing any further and losing a fight would actually allow Team Singapore to instantly push in and end the game themselves, so they don't want to take that risk.
Well, we do see immortality purchases coming from Singapore. All they gotta do is just stall it out. Meanwhile, Philippines as well, they do have a couple of immortalities, but as of yet, Reminiscence is gonna get kind of caught out as well. JPO needs to make a run for it as well as they continue to get chipped off, but they're just a little bit too tanky. So Team Philippines unable to chip away at those immortalities, but they will chip away at the middle turret for now.
That's gotta be so frustrating. That's the power of the Beatrix, using Renner, just chunking out the tower even without a minion wave. Literally nothing that Team Singapore can do. They are down to their final inhibitor. Things are looking quite dire for them now. Still a 6k net worth difference, which at this stage of the game is actually not that much, but they don't really have the tools to be able to fight straight into Philippines. They need a pick-off.
Yep, that is going to be the immortality up on Soul. That means he is going to be able to come online a little bit more very, very soon. But looks like it seems like there is going to be a skirmish as well. Villa Luna forced to use the Holy Baptism to get him out of sticky situations, but Singapore, they are still sticking around, but the minions are going to be pushing us with the base. Is this the right call? Team Singapore, they have to defend against this, and as of yet, Team Philippines, they've got full control of the Lord. They're split off as of now, but Team Philippines now is going to be the best to force the issue, but looks like they are playing it safe. They don't want to commit into it yet, as they want to try and force Team Singapore to make a mistake first.
This Lord is going to be very important. It is the final evolution. Del Rosario jumping in. He sees Soul, but the man has immortality, so Philippines don't want to invest. We know that this is their style. They play around these objectives. They will reset this Lord as many times as necessary to be able to secure this game-ending objective.
Yeah, this is so smart coming from Team Philippines here. They're waiting for Adamir to actually mess up in terms of rotation, but the minions are pushing from all sides, and to the Philippines, they're waiting on the minions on the top side to push into a Singapore and then potentially trying to catch them off guard. But Team Singapore, they've got to make a move very, very fast because they are playing in the hands of Team Philippines. And it looks like that the move is going to be going back to defense, and that is going to be conceding Lord territory into a Team Philippines.
Team Philippines knows that all the waves are going to be pushing in. They will be able to see that Soul has been sent up to the top lane to deal with that wave as well. So knowing that Team Singapore is going to be outnumbered here, they might look for the engagement, but they're just zoning them out. They're playing safe. Del Rosario dropping the Lord down real low.
Half HP coming in as well. They need to force the fight, but there's a big minion up top. But Team Singapore, they're going to rush in as well. They're going for the push. They can't kill off Gonzalez. Real Bridge comes in, isolates the fight. However, Team Philippines, they're just backing off, but there's a big minion. Only get chipped away, and Adamir clutches it for Team Singapore, and they are going to be able to get the kill. However, the Crystal almost losing it from the side of Team Singapore, but it is going to be a 5v4 situation.
That was really close. If Soul was just a little bit later in recalling back to the base, Singapore would have lost their chances at the gold medal to minions. And now Villa Luna going to be targeted again. He will be able to get away with the speed up from Holy healing. The Team Philippines, they still have to be careful. They are now down one man. They can't afford to take a fight.
Oh, this is so hard to watch. But Team Philippines, they've got all the time in the world. But Team Singapore, they are going to try and potentially force a play with the Lord now being present in as well. Team Philippines is still checking out the HP bar of the Lord, but slowly but surely the Lord is chunking in. So looking for the fight, but looks like they are need to back off. But here comes the Real Evolution. They isolate the fight. There Rosario going for a little bit more damage. JPL needs to back off from this fight, but they can't seem to find any sort of the pickup. Adamir is nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Gonzalez is secretly pushing the mains from the side. So that is going to be a skirmish fully disengaged from Team Singapore, not being able to do anything about the situation.
I think we are all sitting on the edge of our seats right now because we really have no idea which way this game is going to go. Both teams are playing so disciplined, so safe. They know what is at stake right now. And just resetting the Lord constantly, they are responding to split pushes very, very well. So even though Soto and Gonzalez have been coming in to try and get a cheeky backdoor, Singapore have been ready to respond to it.
Exactly. Sayla now just got his Divine Glaive. This is going to be a major factor on the overall damage that we're going in from Team Singapore. But is it going to be enough to deal with against Team Philippines? As of yet, you can see Team Singapore, they're still waiting and pushing out the lanes as much as they can so that they can get their Crystal's HP up and healthy before, or if Team Philippines decides to do something really, really spicy. So they're holding out the lanes pretty well, but it is going to be a stalemate for a while before they make a play. Team Singapore, they're making sure every last bit of health is going to count. And as of yet, the Crystals is going to be full health on the on the bottom left of the minimap itself. The Crystals is going to be on 100% health. Team Philippines, however, is going to try and bait this out. Singapore, however, also going to be waiting on Immortalities, potentially on Adamir as well.
This has truly turned into a mental battle. This is how Philippines usually is able to win their games. They're just able to outlast their opponents and make less mistakes. But so far, Singapore has been proving that they have what it takes as well. They've been doing a very good job of dealing with what Philippines is trying to do, matching their split push, matching their presence on the map, and keeping an eye on the Lord to make sure that it is not taken away for free. They want to get a pick off, but the positioning of every player on this map is perfect.
Oh, looks like there's going to be a play coming in. Gonzalez from the behind as well. Soul is going to try to make a play as well. He finds Gonzalez, but he's going to get focused out. He dies through the first one as well. They're more time to get chipped away, but Imam is going to finish him off. Now, Team Philippines is slowly picking off towards members of Team Singapore. They can't seem to finish off Gonzalez. JPL tried to make the play. He's still alive. He's got the immortality, and Singapore is slowly retreating away. And likewise coming from Philippines, and everything is on his way. Well, but Gonzalez from the side. Ooh, that was a little bit too close. Unfortunately, Reminiscence does not have the vision for that. They lose Soul in the process, and this is another play coming from Team Philippines, and this is going to be the best time for them to try and contest the Lord.
Even though they are down one man, so it's still quite risky for Team Philippines to go for this. Soul tried to make the engagement, and it was a good attempt for Singapore to try and catch Philippines off guard, but that's a very difficult thing to do. Even at this point, Team Philippines respect the amount of damage that is coming out, and the fact that Singapore were able to disengage from that, only losing a single player, is going to be huge, because if they had lost even one more person, the Philippines would have been able to take this Lord and end the game.
Well, that is going to be another pause.
I guess we'll find out what the plan will be, because we are now going to be returning to the game once again. Which of these teams are going to be coming out on top? Team Philippines now going to be making the attempt. JPL able to walk away with no problem. Reminiscent coming in. He wants Villa Luna, but their positioning again is on point. But they know that Soul has to deal with the wave up top. They could use this opportunity to start on the Lord.
Well, again, JPL looking for the long resets on towards the Lord. Team Philippines will, however, try to make attempts. Seems like they are making rotations up top to potentially get an easy kill onto a Soul, but I don't think Team Singapore knows this, because as of now, Team Philippines are showing signs on towards the Lord, but oh, beautiful reset coming from JPL with the wall block, and that is going to be Team Philippines not able to clear it off. Meanwhile, Team Philippines, they're making plays, so he needs to make a run for it. He clears the minions, but from behind, he's going to get surrounded, so he needs to make a run for it as well. He knows he is going to be having a little bit of fun, and just like that, they take him out. Team Philippines will catch him off guard. However, this is going to be a 3-man push coming in. They need to find a way to reassemble the rest of the teams, as the rest of Team Singapore is going to try and make a pick-off, and unfortunately to say, is not going to have a great walls here coming in to isolate the fight. A wall charge coming from JPL to isolate them all, but they don't seem to have the damage to do so. They need Soul in this fight to come.
A good disengage from Singapore. They're only going to lose Soul there, but that might be enough, because Team Philippines can now completely zone them off the Lord. Again, we are very late into the game. This is the final evolution of the Lord. This is more than enough for Team Philippines to end the game if they're able to secure it. JPL gonna... Actually, he does get the reset, but Philippines swaps their target, goes for the Grok instead. That's one more down. Reminiscent, the next target. Soto jumping in on top of Sayla, pushing him back, but Team Singapore, they're not gonna give out without by
Sayla.
Sayla, dropping real low, getting taken out. Madison going to be able to survive. Adamir flickers
Oh,
forward,
no.
pops the immortality on Gonzalez, but he is out of position. He gets another immortality, gets his own immortality pop. They will get the killing spree onto Adamir as now Madison jumps in. He wants to pick off Villa Luna, but gonna guide to that impact. And Philippines going to pick off the final member as Sayla drops in a double kill. Soul gonna finally respawn, but he is in a 1v5 situation. Will he be able to defend against this minion wave? Philippines gonna be jumping straight in. The crystal is exposed. They are going to end the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Philippines are going to be your first grand finalists in the 31st SEA Games.
Oh, what a game. What a very, very long one. But eventually, Team Philippines making the